Somebody once told me that every story has three components: a beginning, a middle, and an end. In my story, my journey as a potter, um, the beginning was really quite simple. I had gone to college in the 1980s, it was 1987, and when I got there, I was told that part of the degree that I was trying to get required me to take an art class. Now, I'd always liked art. My family I grew up in, I was surrounded by it, exposed, but I never thought of myself as an artist. My older sister, Carol, amazing 2D artist. She could sketch, she could paint, incredibly talented. My gift was getting into trouble. I couldn't paint. Sketching, I could get an idea down if I wanted to build a tree house or go-kart or something like that, but I certainly never drew anything I would consider to be beautiful. And at that point in my life, I'd looked at art history and things like that and thought, nah, boy, that's boring. But one art class that I saw was ceramics, pottery. And I remember growing up, my parents had a friend that did pottery, and I was like, oh, that seemed pretty interesting. I could probably put up with that for 3 months. So I signed up. You know how they say your life can turn on small moments? Well, stepping into the studio for me, putting my hands in clay was one of those moments, because when I did, I'm not going to say that I had a natural affinity for it, that I picked up a clump of clay and started making beautiful bowls or sculptures or anything like that. What I can tell you is that once I touched clay, once I formed it and shaped it and those things, I knew I didn't ever want to do anything else. That presented a little bit of a problem because the other people in my life, my professors and such, all thought that I should still do other things, but I knew in that moment that I wanted to be an artist, that I wanted to be a potter. That period of my life lasted 6 months. I took 2 semesters and did some hand building. I had some successes, also a few things that kind of make me cringe. I had a friend at that time that said, Brad, we got to do good work, because the things that we make today will most likely be here long after we're gone. The beginning was over after 6 months, and we arrived squarely at the middle and the start of my family. My wife got pregnant, we had our first child, and it was wonderful. Easy to think in the context of the story that I'm telling you now that it wasn't, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And with my family starting, certain freedoms went away and certain responsibilities came to the forefront. It was more important to make money, to have health benefits and those things, than to make pots. And I left school and I got a job. Around this time, and I wish I could remember the author, I've looked for it, tried to search it out on the internet, I haven't found it, but I came across this book, and the author talked about how in American culture we tend to define ourselves by our jobs. And why is that? If I met you at a party, small talk would quickly turn to, what do you do for a living? And at that point in my life, I would have told you that I worked at a lumber yard, that I sold building materials to contractors. But that's not how I saw myself. I saw myself as a potter. So when I met people, I would say, I'm a potter. And they would say, wow, that's amazing. How do you make money doing that? And I would say, I don't make money doing pottery. As a matter of fact, I haven't had my hands in clay in years. I sell lumber to provide a living for myself and my family, but I am a potter. That phase of my life lasted 27 years, which brings us up to the part we're at now, the journey. And while I hope it's not the end of the story, it's the end of this story. I'm working at a lumber yard. My wife calls me up one day. She said, hey, I just heard that Runyon Pottery Supply here in town, 3 miles from my house, is looking for someone that has some experience and knowledge about pottery and ceramics. And I went and I talked to them, and I was offered a job, and I stopped working for a living. I can say that 2 years ago I retired because I haven't worked a day in my life since. So in addition to reintroducing me to pottery, it has introduced me to a community of artists and teachers. It's been an exciting ride. So that's a little bit about me and what brings me to here. One thing I want to say right now is I don't intend these videos to be instructional. I'm not a teacher. I'm still a student. When you look at how long I've been doing this, about 18 months now. And that does not make me an expert, doesn't make me a master. I'm just a student. I am all in with this. So I'm kind of inviting you on the journey with me. I welcome your comments, your thoughts, and I hope that you enjoy. Thank you.
Fortune smiles upon you now. It rolls like the winds that fill your sails and set you free. And as you walk through this life, you'll discover how to play the part of who you're meant to be. Open your eyes and you will see how time keeps on flowing to this moment in time, till all your years have passed you by and float down like the petals of a rose into the night. You and I will walk together through the valley of fear. And there are things we'll know all about, things that aren't quite clear. I will gently lay you down and rock your soul away from all pain and misery. And in my voice, child, you will hear the essence of a love that is new eternally.